Well, bringing an adaptive scuba program to Southwest Missouri, that's the goal of the Chicago-based company Dive Heart. They're a nationally recognized nonprofit that is teaming up with Dive Ventures to offer an experience for those of all ages. Now, during a presentation to the Rotary Club of Springfield Southeast on Thursday, the group announced they've selected Springfield as the next community to explore the possibility to expand their scuba diving program. Now, today they teamed up with Dive Ventures to host a demonstration for the public in their state-of-the-art indoor training pool to show everybody, regardless of gender, status, or disability, can join.
Ultimate goal is to make diving accessible for anyone. So whether that be through grants or sponsorships, we strive to help anyone who is looking to be a part of the diving culture. We expand our opportunities to make sure everyone can have a full share, regardless of financial status or disability.
Community members interested in helping out can find more information on Dive Heart at our website, ky3.com, or you can reach out to Dive Ventures at 417-883-5151.